Convenience Products has been manufacturing polyurethane adhesives and sealants to the commercial and residential markets for almost 40 years. Convenience Products manufactures and distributes a complete line of 1 and 2 component polyurethane foam adhesives, sealants, and insulating foams. These products include straw, gun and canister foams, adhesives, disposable 2-component kits, and 17-gallon refill systems. With 3 manufacturing and 5 warehousing facilities in the U.S. and Canada, Convenience Products is uniquely positioned to fulfill your polyurethane sealant, insulation, and adhesive requirements. The Touch and Seal 17-gallon refill system is a Class 1 fire-retardant high-performance spray polyurethane foam dispensing system. The Touch and Seal 17-gallon refill system is ideal for high-volume users who wish not to invest in the expense or maintenance of a high-cost mechanical foam spray system costing tens of thousands of dollars. When applied in properly designed construct, the Touch and Seal 17-gallon refill system can reduce energy consumption by up to 40%, providing fast payback. The following instructional video is prepared for the experienced professional who is familiar with the general handling, application, and characteristics of polyurethane spray foam. You will assemble the Touch and Seal 17-gallon refill system, beginning with the nitrogen and A and B chemical tanks, continuing with the on-off valves, the chemical hoses, and completing the assembly with the foam spray applicator. Position the A tank to the left and the B tank to the right. This is the standard in the polyurethane industry. Place a nitrogen cylinder behind and between the A and B tanks. If possible, secure the nitrogen cylinder to prevent it from falling. Remove the nitrogen tank cap and install the nitrogen regulator onto the nitrogen tank. Hand tighten and snug firmly by using an adjustable wrench. Be careful not to strip the brass fitting by over-tightening. Verify that the pressure control valves are backed out by turning counterclockwise to eliminate nitrogen flow. Locate the yellow tagged nitrogen intake valve of the A tank. Verify that the valve is closed. The handle should be perpendicular to the valve. Loosen and remove the nitrogen intake cap on the A tank and store in the canvas bag on top of the tank. Connect one end of the first yellow tagged nitrogen hose to the A side nitrogen intake valve on the A chemical tank and the other end to the left fitting A on the nitrogen regulator assembly. Snug hose fittings firmly. Follow the same procedure to connect the second or B side nitrogen hose. Verify that the chemical tank valves are closed. The handle should be perpendicular to the valve. Remove the chemical valve plug from each of the A and B tanks and place in canvas bags provided. Each plug must be lubricated and reinstalled prior to empty tank return. Remove the filter assembly from the canvas bag that is attached to the top of the tank. Connect a filter assembly to each chemical tank valve with the filter assembly arrows pointing away from the tanks. The arrows represent the direction of the chemical flow. Tighten the filter assemblies with an adjustable wrench and do not over-tighten. Connect the on-off valves tank to hose with the swivel ends to the filter assemblies of each tank, ensuring the valve handles are positioned on top of the valve for ease of operation. The on-off valves tank to hose have swivel connections. Tighten the connections with an adjustable wrench. Remember, do not over-tighten. Remove the chemical hose set from its packaging. Note that a pair of hose couplers are provided if you wish to create a longer hose by connecting additional hose sets. Connect the A-labeled chemical hose to the on-off valve tank to hose on tank A, and the other chemical hose to the on-off valve tank to hose on tank B. Tighten both connections with an adjustable wrench. Connect an on-off valve hose to applicator to the other end of each chemical hose. The on-off valve hose to applicator do not have swivel connections. Verify that the arrows on each on-off valve hose to applicator point away from the A and B chemical tanks. Tighten each connection with 2 adjustable wrenches. Remember, do not over-tighten. Connect the red striped foam applicator A hose to the on-off valve hose to applicator of the A chemical hose. Connect the white B foam applicator hose to the on-off valve hose-to-applicator of the B chemical hose. Tighten each connection using 2 adjustable wrenches. Engage the safety on the foam applicator. Ensure all valves are in the closed position before pressurizing the system. If you have not already done so, verify that the pressure control valves on the regulator are backed out to eliminate nitrogen flow and that the 3 nitrogen regulator valves show 0 pressure. To ensure proper pressurization, open the nitrogen bottle valve by turning the knob on top of the nitrogen cylinder counterclockwise until it stops. Verify the nitrogen cylinder pressure using the center gauge of the nitrogen regulator assembly. Replace nitrogen tank when the pressure falls below 500 psi. Slowly turn the left regulator pressure control valve clockwise until the proper pressure setting of 150 psi is obtained. Turn the right regulator pressure control valve clockwise until the proper pressure setting of 150 psi is obtained. Open the nitrogen intake valve of each tank until the handles are parallel with the nitrogen hoses. Turn on the chemical tank valve of each tank until the handles are parallel to the chemical hoses. Slowly turn on the on-off valve tank to hose until the handles are parallel to the chemical hoses. Slowly turn on the on-off valves hose to applicator until the handles are parallel to the chemical hoses. Verify that all valve connections are tight and that no chemical leaks are present. And finally, verify that the foam applicator safety is engaged. Proper calibration is essential for chemical flow. Ensure both chemical temperatures and chemical hoses are 70 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. Set A and B nitrogen pressures at 150 psi. Ensure the nitrogen tank regulator gauge reads more than 500 psi. Materials needed for calibration: small empty paper bags, calibration nozzles, a clean rag, a marker or pencil, a gram scale, and a calculator. Mark one bag A and the other bag B. Weigh and record the weight of each empty bag so that its weight may be deducted from the total weight of the filled paper bags. Remove the existing nozzle, if any, from the foam applicator. Disengage the foam applicator safely and dispense chemicals in an appropriate waste container to verify proper chemical flow while purging air from the hoses. Engage the safety and place the calibration nozzle on the foam applicator. Hold the 2 paper bags together, placing the A side tube left in the bag labeled A and the other tube in the bag labeled B or right. Engage the trigger for 6 to 8 seconds and stop, and then engage the foam applicator safety. Weigh the filled bags separately. Mark the filled weight on each bag. Always divide the weight of bag B into the weight of bag A. Acceptable ratios are 1.08 to 1.16. If the ratio is too high, increase the pressure of the B tank, and if the ratio is too low, increase the pressure of the A tank. After calibration has been successfully completed, clean any chemical from the front of the foam applicator barrel by wiping with a clean rag. Place an unused conical or fan nozzle on the barrel of the foam applicator and disengage the safety. The touch and seal refill system is now ready for operation. Always wear recommended personal protective equipment, including impermeable coveralls, head covering, gloves, safety glasses, and an appropriate respirator. Use only in a well-ventilated area. Do not breathe vapors or spray. Avoid contact with skin. Do not wear contaminated clothing, and refer to the manufacturer's MSDS for additional information. The foam applicator provides excellent flow control and minimizes waste when used properly. The following instructions ensure maximum efficiency and performance of the foam applicator. Verify that the safety is engaged when the foam applicator is not in use, and attach an unused nozzle and disengage the safety on the foam applicator. To replace the used nozzle, engage the safety on the foam applicator. Grasp the foam applicator in one hand and the used nozzle in the other. Twist the nozzle and pull it off the barrel. Install a new nozzle on the barrel of the foam applicator by pushing and twisting the nozzle until firmly locked in place. For typical application to stud walls and similar construct, position the spray applicator approximately 12 to 18 inches from the surface to be foamed. Depress the spray applicator trigger 1/3 to 1/2 and in a slow sweeping motion, apply the foam to the construct. Remember, apply the foam no more than 1 inch at a time to avoid overheating and to allow for full expansion. You can apply additional 1-inch layers of foam after the previous layer has cooled and fully expanded. For applying foam in beads or in concentrated areas, you may prefer to use a clear cone nozzle. For applying foam to wider areas, such as between wall studs, full or partial cavity fills, you may prefer the yellow fan nozzle. Practice using both types of nozzles to determine your preferred choice. For storage at the end of the day, replacing the nitrogen tank, or returning empty chemical cylinders to convenience products, engage the safety on the foam applicator. Clean any chemical from the front of the foam applicator barrel by wiping with a clean rag. Reattach the used nozzle, as this provides an airtight seal during storage. Turn off all valves, which include 2 chemical tank valves, 2 on-off valves hose to applicator, 2 on-off valves tank to hose, 2 nitrogen intake valves, and the nitrogen regulator valve. Rewind foam applicator and chemical hose assembly without draining. Store off ground. Store in a dry area between 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Short-term storage between 40 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit is permitted. Do not store at temperatures above 120 degrees Fahrenheit near steam, open flames, sparks, hot water pipes, chimneys, or heat vents. If a partially used system remains inactive for a period of time, the system should be pressurized and purged every 2 weeks by dispensing product until chemicals flow forcefully. This will prevent crystallization of the chemical and clear old product from the hoses. Follow instructions in system shutdown procedures and storage. Unopened chemical tanks have a shelf life of approximately 1 year. To prepare your canisters for return, first follow shutdown procedures wearing personal protection equipment. Remove nitrogen hose set from cylinders. Disconnect the chemical hoses from the filter assembly on the chemical tanks. Note, a small amount of chemical may drain from the ball valve and/or the filter. Unscrew the filter assembly from the ball valve and discard the filter assembly. Remove the plug threads from the canvas bags on top of the chemical tanks. Coat with the lubricant provided and reinsert the plugs into their original chemical pipe location. Reinstall the nitrogen intake caps and then place empty chemical tanks onto a sturdy pallet and secure for return. Call 800-357-9199 to schedule a return with the approved freight carrier. Do not call alternate freight carriers.